Hello to our beloved followers. Welcome to Tanis, the podcast. This is your favorite podcast, I guess, and that is not afraid to tell the truth. In today's episode, we will talk about a horror movie that some young students witness in real life. This is one of those situations where you think, oh my gosh, what would I have done in this situation? So we're going to listen to two victims of the situation and a specialist of these cases, and she's going to give us a couple of recommendations in case we are ever in a situation like this. So I'm going to ask everybody to pay attention, get your snacks, and enjoy the story. Several tens of girls were injured after jumping from a roof to escape a fire that was registered in the primary and secondary buildings of the Magua boarding school, which is located in the province of Lualaba, Katanga region in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Some videos are circulating in social networks that show the moments of despair experienced by these girls of the Catholic school and how, in despair of not being victims of the fire, several of them decided to jump from an estimated height of 4 meters. Can you imagine being in this fire and having to jump out of the roof of your school? Probably we didn't have these kind of experiences in high school. To try to help them, a ladder was placed, but it was not useful enough due to the number of girls who wanted to be saved from the fire. The authorities have activated the protocol and did not determine the causes of the fire. However, it is known to have originated from the buildings on the elementary and secondary levels. Normatively, the root cause is being investigated, since there are some other possibilities taken into account, such as this case being related to terrorism. So, as you can imagine, there are several people, crazy people out there in the world, and this might be a case of terrorism. Several of the students had fractures and were transferred to hospitals for medical attention. Thank God, no deaths or burns were reported. The Health and Safety Department of the country has said the balance is at least 97 injured students, including some 30 with fractures in their bodies. Some months ago, the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo published an edict in which women's rights were defended, and it was stipulated that all women had the right to education. This brought a lot of letters and digital comments from people who were against this. As you can imagine, not everybody can be happy when this happened. Due to the topic being so controversial in the country and due to religion issues, the government had to remind the people that this should be bindingly respected, and any act against this would be considered under the penal code of legalism. Police has reinforced the cyber law and digital security since the country has already presented situations of chaos and terrorism after some other case laws were approved by the government. So we're gonna listen to one of the victims that were in the place, because you know that in this podcast, we bring the news and we bring the people. So Clara Martinez from 11th grade, Paula Tarazona from 10th grade, and Stephanie Corrales, a fire specialist, who will talk to us a little about fire prevention, are talking with us about the situation at school. So, okay, let's start with Clara. She is one of the victims who tell us a little about her experience in this terrifying situation. Let's talk about this case. So, Clara, welcome to Tanis. You are so welcome to tell us what happened.
Hello, thank you. As you mentioned, it was very scary experience. Everything was very fast. The 11th grade students were located on the second floor of the school. Our classroom is at the end of the house and it only has one window that is not that big. Only one person can go through that window. When the fire started, I was sitting in my chair talking to my best friends. So suddenly I heard some screams coming from the hallway. They were screaming, "Fire, fire, we are going to burn." In the rooms, we are loaded because we don't think so. We thought they were joking signs at the moment. The teachers were not there neither. Signs there where is a meeting with the rector of the school. The second floor was alone without any teacher in chairs. When from one moment to the next, the rooms was filled with students with desire to escape the smoke. The hallways darkened. No one saw anything. We all disappeared. Some were screaming, others were crying. They began to push to get out through the window, um, through, through which only one person could pass. Imagine this disappear.
No, I can't imagine. I mean, imagine you are in your class, you're talking to your bestie, you're chatting about what you're gonna do after class, and then boom, a fire starts in the school. That's crazy. I imagine it is crazy, and it is understandable. Just from one person going through the window, it gets very, very scary.
Yes, but the most critical moment was when we began to see the flames, and there were still too many people in the room. I thought I was going to die. We covered our nose and mouth with the skin of the uniform, where we moistened in with water to be able to breathe in well and no inhalated smoke. Our eyes began to burn because the room was full of smoke. We also placed on wet towels that were made by use at the door, so that the fire and smoke will not enter the room so quickly. Some of my friends were already calling at a loss because the smoke did not let them breathe. Until we were finally able to go out the window, I thought the most terrifying these things was to see how my best friend from disappears jumped. I thought I will never see her again. That's God, she's fine. She broke her legs, but she's still alive.
Oh, Clara, I thank you so very much for sharing this with us. I think you were very intelligent to be in that moment. And you are only children. I mean, you're a young girl and you already knew what to do. So I think that's very smart, very clever, and that's the reason why all of you are alive. And another thing that I can see over here is that all of you were um I mean, trying to escape, but also trying to help your friends. So that is very amazing. Thank you so much for having the courage to come and tell us about what happened. We also have Paula's testimony. Tell us, what were you doing while this whole situation occurred, Paula? Did you have the same experience as Clara's? How did you feel?
Hello, I am Paula, and I'm a high school student. I was in history class when the smoke began to reach our classroom, and we all began to scream, desperate in fear, and little by little unable to breathe easily because of the smoke. My first feeling was fear when thinking about what would happen to me. I never imagined in this situation at the school. The fire started in an area of the boarding school, and when I got to the student area, it was already very advanced, and we didn't have the possibility of going out through to the doors. I was on the second floor with my other classmates when the doors were closed by the students, so they will not it came so quickly to the place where the fire was. However, we had no, another way out the window, but it was very high, and we hesitated to jump, but our life were in danger. I was very afraid and angustied with such an intense situation, but seeing that the flames were behind us, the windows and holes in the bathrooms were easy to get up. We began to jump and the physical pain of failing was not a great and satisfaction of saving ourselves from burning up to death. Several students were injured, and my case with difficult breathing, intoxicated with smoke, and when I jumped 3 meters, I fell badly and fractured my ankle, but I came out alive, which is the important thing.
Oh, you're totally right, Paula. I really, really hope that you can heal from your broken ankle. And I know that you're going to be all right. And I know that this experience is going to be a great teaching and life lesson for you and for all of your classmates. I am glad that, well, you were injured, you were broken, your bones broken, but you are still alive. And as you said, that is the important thing. And as you said, nothing is more important than being alive. Not even the pain is so important. So it is incredible what these wonderful students had to go through. But in this episode, we are not only going to narrate the facts, but we also brought a fire specialist who will give us some advice for future situations that can arise anywhere. So let's pay attention to the specialist. She's going to give us very, very important comments about how to get out a fire.
Wow, I imagine this was terrible for the student in this situation. The important thing is that they managed to survive. Now we must understand that the cause of fires are many. They can exist due to electrical faults or gas leaks, faulty installation of large of maintenance to electrical system, as this cause short circuits and overloads that can lead to emergency with fatal consequence. However, in this case, we still don't have full knowledge nor have all the investigation being complete. The investigators have not obtained access to the school to complete the investigation. However, they have had several speculation and hypotheses of the cause of these accidents. Now, regarding the advice I can give the people who at some point go through a situation like this, if you realize that the fire has no spread through all the exit doors or window, first you have to be calm and leave by the fastest route possible. But if the building doesn't have easy exits due to the fire, the best thing to do is clearly to call the fire department. They have been in several similar situations, so they have knowledge of how to deal with this. The important thing is to show them where you are in the building so that the evacuation carried out by the fire department will be easier. To the student of Manhua High School who have had a traumatic moment, my advice is not be discouraged in terms of their studies. The support among all is the best to recover from it. This situation may be temporary. Also, if they can have some support by a psychologist will be a great help. They had they have had their studies and can with their professionals help them. Also, if the investigation of the cause of this fire gives an act of terrorism, it's important that the government take the necessary decisions so that this doesn't happen again. So here are some advice that I can give you. I hope it can be of some use to you.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. And yes, you're totally right. We really, really hope that this is not an act of terrorism because, you know, that would be very terrible and frightening. I really hope that everybody can recover from this, and we hope that all of you can grow from this experience and we can learn from this experience as well. Maybe these have not happened to us. Maybe we are away of these kind of situations and we don't really care, but it can happen to all of us. We also go to school, we go to our works every day, to our to different places, our gym or cinema. And what happens if we get into a fire? What would you do? So I hope that these comments and these recommendations were useful for everybody, and that the experience that we're shared in this episode were useful for all of you. I thank you so much, Paula and Clara and Stephanie, the specialist. Thank you so much, guys, for coming to this episode of Tanis. And to all of our followers, guys, thank you so much for listening to us. Remember, we have an episode every week talking about scary movies, scary moments, scary situations that we have in our life. So thank you so much to everybody. I hope you have a great evening, and please stay safe out there. Bye-bye.